Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. We're back, and this is a part 2. Part 1 was with Nathan East. Part 2, y'all ain't ready for it. But before we start that, I want you guys to do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel, share it, subscribe, share right now. Just do it right now, and we'll be happy forever. Happy forever. So, my next guest in part 2. It's hard to put words on a musician who has done as much as he has done in a very short period of time, actually. He may claim that he's an old man, but he's not an old man. Because we're all pretty much all the same age, and I'm not old, and neither is he. So, how do you explain Ray Parker Jr.? Musician, talent on top of talent.
And Nathan East's cousin.
Nathan's cousin. Hey, Ray, thank you for coming, man.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, man. So, Nate starts his career off at 16.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds about right for you. Is that right?
Oh, no, I started at 6.
What?
Yeah, I had a band at 6 called
Stingrays.
Stingrays, Stiray. Stingrays. Yeah, we played orphanages.
At 6?
At 6. And guess who was in the band? Nathan Watts, who's Stevie Wonder's band
Nathan,
leader now, and Ollie Brown that played the drums, and Linwood Colquitt played the trumpet. Yeah, we had a band, so we were already rolling. In fact, at about 10 years old, I switched instruments and switched to the guitar. And I was playing a lot on the guitar. We were doing Jewish bar mitzvahs, weddings, and all that kind of stuff. And the first group I went on tour with, unfortunately, we just lost the last member, Henry Frambro, was the Spinners. And I was 13 and a half, 14 when I was touring with the Spinners.
And you were playing guitar?
Yes, playing guitar.
With the Spinners?
Yeah. And then I used to be in the house band at the 20 Grand with James Jamerson, the Funk Brothers, Bohannon and the Motown Orchestra.
Right.
And we used to back Gladys Knight and the Pips. That's when Parliament, wasn't no Parliament Funkadelic, it was just Parliament. Mm-hmm. And they were like 5 guys in a suit, mm-hmm. like the Temptations. Right. I just want to testify. So they had that song, mm-hmm. Curiosity Kills a Cat, mm-hmm. Satisfaction Brought Him Back. And so we played the Temps, Chuck Jackson and All Stars, and just a whole bunch of people.
Any day now.
Yeah, I used to play at the 20 Grand. I was in the house band at 20 Grand at 15. Then I started recording with Marvin Gaye at 15, Holland Doja Holland, mm-hmm. and all that stuff. I started playing with Honeycomb, like Put It in the One ads and all that stuff, Chairman of the Board, mm-hmm. 8th Day, 100 Proof, Everything Good is Bad, Everything's Bad is Good, Free to Pain, all that kind of stuff. So that's what I was doing in high school.
That's
by 16, man, I was already telling my dad this is what I wanted to do. Yeah, well, I was making more money than my dad at 16.
So they actually let you in the clubs.
Oh,
were you a big 13-year-old?
Yeah, I was pretty tall. But they in Detroit, it's Detroit. We didn't pay taxes in Detroit. This is Detroit. If you shoot somebody, you don't go to jail. It's a different kind of society. So you got to picture something different. So at the club owner's like, long as he don't try to drink and do that kind of stuff, he's cool. And they let you on stage, and nobody would come from the city and try to chase you off. They'd be like, he's grooving up there. Y'all shut up and let him up there.
So you were much more mature for that age because you're around a lot of adults
in adult situations. I was that mature or not. I just wanted to play music. I never did drugs or alcohol and that stuff because everybody was doing that was losing. Mm-hmm. So I saw that as a loser's game.
Yeah, you always said that to me that the whole drug thing and drinking thing.
People say, well, how did you avoid that? Easy. I just didn't do it. It wasn't even attractive to me.
Well, did your parents have anything to do with that?
No. They never said don't do drugs. They just noticed I never did it,
Did you smoke
it all?
In fact,
I think they were like, well, since he never did it, maybe we shouldn't bring it up,
Did you smoke at all? Cigarettes?
Never smoked. No, never drank, never smoked, just none of that stuff, I didn't even have a girlfriend till I was 17 or 18. I didn't like girls either.
Just music?
It's a girl's distraction from your music, I just wanted to play music, and music was probably my saving grace. It got me out of everything.
Mm-hmm. So, Ray, there are a lot of young people who may be watching this thing and listening to you now.
Yeah.
And school is school. Talent is talent. Passion is passion. Drive is drive.
Yeah.
Was school did it play like interference with you in terms of your career?
Well, it
your
was
passion?
sort of a waste of time, school, so I didn't go that much. I mean, I graduated, unfortunately, with a 1.7 grade band average. You know, in elementary school, I had the best music teacher in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So school for me in elementary school was wonderful. I learned how to count. I learned everything I really needed to know in elementary school. Junior high and high school in Detroit was really just a repetition of what happened in elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
Same books. They didn't teach you anymore. You know, same everything.
Mm-hmm.
Only a lot more violence and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't really go to class that much. I was in the studio recording with Marvin Gaye and Smokey Robinson and Holland Dozier Holland and, you know, those guys. That's what I did most days of the week.
Right. Right. And everything paid off big time.
Yeah.
Passion.
Yeah.
Drive.
Passion, drive, lots of practice, lots of wanting to do it, you know. And yeah, a lot of drive.
Could you see yourself doing anything else?
No. I can't see myself doing anything else. If I wasn't playing music and I was able to follow a passion, it probably been maybe programming with computers or something like that, you know. But that would be a far second to music in my life. And I was approached with that, by the way. I was approached with working at Ford, Chrysler, GM, because that's what everybody did in Detroit.
That's right.
So it looked like, it appeared that was going to be the future, you know. And I was thinking, well, shoot, maybe I should just shoot myself and get it over with now. I don't want to work at Ford in an office. My dad would have got me a job, what you call a white-collar worker. Blue-collar workers are the ones that actually wore the Brogane shoes and went to factory. But he was there like 46 years. So he said he could get me a job as a white-collar worker, you know. And I didn't want to be a white-collar worker. I didn't want to build cars. I just wanted to drive the Mustang, you know. I thought that was a better idea.
Right.
And so the big change came at 17 years old when Stevie Wonder called me and wanted me to go on tour with the Rolling Stones and fly to L.A. and record Talking Book album with him. And we were doing an album for Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, you know. And I thought that was a way better idea than staying in college where I was. I graduated high school early. So at 17, I was already in college, my first semester of college. And then I got a call from Stevie Wonder, and I was still under my parents' jurisdiction until I was 18. So I had to go have a conversation with my mom and dad about dropping out of college, killing your dreams, and me, you know, going to pursue my dreams. You know, that didn't go too well, by the way.
I'm sure it
did.
did.
The short version of it, but I had to have a long talk with my dad. I mean, for days. And he told me about the pension plan and Ford's retirement and all that stuff. And I had to repeat it all back to him so that he understood, I got it. I heard everything you said. I don't want to do that. It was just as simple as that.
Your physical build would say that Ray Parker should have been a football player or athlete.
Oh, yeah. I didn't play football, baseball, or anything because in Detroit, the police would always beat me up for playing sports.
Why is that?
I don't know. I have no idea. But ever since like 10 years old or 11, 12 years old, they'd hold me by my ankles, shake my 15 cents out of my pocket, my 5 colored M&Ms out of my pocket.
You said the police?
The police, yeah. And they make me wet my pants. And then they drive me 2 miles away from home and drop me off. That's after they took all the footballs and gloves and all that stuff. So I actually thought sports were illegal. Because
the police...
Brutality. Yeah, I thought it was just, okay, well, then, you know, you should get that sports stuff out of your mind because that's no good. You're going to go to jail doing that.
These were black police officers?
No, it was called the Big Four, so it would be 2 black and 2 white.
So what did that do to you mentally?
Well, I thought sports was illegal. So
I'm talking about
today. But I'm just saying, I just thought I was doing something illegal. Like when the police would come, if we were playing basketball, football, we'd run. Everybody run. And only those get smacked around, the ones that got caught. You can't catch all of us, you know, so we'd run. So even today, I mean, I go to football games, baseball. I don't really know that much about what they're doing because in my mind, I didn't pay that much attention to it because I had to get my mind right. I had to get it out of sports. you go to jail. In my mind, you went to jail doing sports.
So your point of view about police enforcement must have changed also.
Oh yeah. Well, back then I was
Trust
issues.
issues.
Yeah, I was. Like if you look at my documentary, it shows pictures of me getting beat up at the police pulling me off the bus stop, taking me in the alley and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we used to run from the police like crazy. In fact, it's an interesting story. My wife's from Oregon, right? She grew up in a way different community than I grew up.
Right.
And we're together. We were very close. And we were watching TV one time. And this black guy was running in Compton. They had the helicopter light on him. He's running full speed, right? And we're looking at the same thing on TV, but she's seeing something different than me. So she says, "Look at that guy. Why don't he stop running?" You could tell he did it. He's guilty because he's running from the police. And
I don't even know.
I said, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
I said, wait a minute. Yeah, that's what I said. I said, wait a minute, Eric. I said, just because he's running from the police, he might be running towards the police station. I said, I was that kid a lot of times with the light on me. He's running because if they catch him, he's getting the ass whooping. Yeah. And that is regardless of whether he did it or not. The first thing he gets is that. Then maybe he'll find some justice later. And I said, he's trying to run. He may be on his way to the police station for all you know. I said, but he's got to outrun them. Is the first thing he's got to do. So I told her, she didn't really relate to that the same way I did. I said, boy, it's interesting. You're looking at that. You see that, and I see that over there. We see two different things.
Yeah. Well, America's like that.
Yeah.
The world's like that, unfortunately. Yeah. Unfortunately, until we start looking from other people's eyes.
Exactly.
That's when we'll get it. But next question, which is similar to what I'm just talking about. Would you consider yourself religious or spiritual, or neither?
Absolutely. I'm very religious and spiritual.
Both?
Yeah.
God plays a part in your life?
Big time. Yeah, I mean, people that are atheists, I don't really understand that, how they can arrive at that conclusion, I sort of can, it's maybe not what I believe, but I sort of can relate to how people can come to subsidies of what they call God, and one guy believes in Buddhism, one guy believes, I got that part. But the idea that the world just evolved and everything just blew up and we're just here, I really can't, I don't go to that. I'm looking at modern day miracles every day of my life.
Yeah, you're one.
Is that too, So you look at all the rest of this stuff and you say, you think that everything just happened by accident, and every time I got robbed or held up by the police in Detroit, the gun never went off in my head? Just like, the guns pointed at me 15, 20 times, but not one bullet went through my head. Come on. I think not.
Yeah, right.
I think not, Now, what's the involvement? What's the 100% of the purpose? We can debate that, right? We can debate, did they write the Bible correctly? Did King James Version copy it from here? Or is Buddha right? All of that's an option. But when they start saying there is no spirituality and there is no God, everything just evolved, I don't think so.
Yeah. Do you think that's part of what kept you clear from all the madness, or some of the madness?
Well, a lot of the stuff that kept me clear is I never wanted to do anything that would embarrass my mom and my dad.
Okay.
They had the best parents, so I thought enough of my parents where I always thought, boy, I can't have anything in Jet magazine. It's gonna make, because my dad and them, they read Jet and Ebony magazine. Right. Everyone read Johnson Publications back in the 50s and 60s. So I'm like, I can't do anything where my mom reads this with her relatives and she's embarrassed of her son. Just can't have it. Just can't do it. Yeah.
All right. Are you different from your siblings?
Not really. My brother's a musician. He turned into a minister, and my sister spent most of her time on welfare. She's passed now. But I don't think I'm that different from my siblings.
Just made different choices.
Yeah, we think the same thing. We did different things for an occupation, but other than that, we're all the same.
Were you guys close?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm still close to my brother now. This buzzing, I don't know why this is me. I'll watch this, but call him back later.
Who you
it's my eye doctor. Call him back.
Okay, yeah. Oh. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I got glaucoma. It's really bad, too. It's a genetic disease, so I tell everybody, especially black people, get it more than white people. You should get your eyes checked every couple of years,
So when you got that news, what did it do to you? And
When I got the news, I'd already lost 80% of my vision. Even though it doesn't look like that or appear like that, I only see 1 in 20 squares out of 100. And the ones that I see are clear, but I can miss a lot of stuff. If I start playing with the radio, driving a car, I can run through the car in front of me. I won't see that car at all. And getting back to spirituality, I'm saying my blessings every night and thank you for that, because that's the only thing wrong with me. I'm a black guy, I have no diabetes, no high blood pressure. I can get in and out of my car with no hands and get out of my sports car with no hands. And I play tennis every day. I work out with the trainer.
You still playing tennis?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I work out with the trainer and playing pickleball. I mean, I do all kind of crazy bowl. I mean, I do everything. I mean, physically great. And the only thing wrong with me is some of my eyesight. Some of my eyesight. It's not like I'm blind all the way. And I can't fly airplanes anymore.
Right.
Yeah, I can't do that. But I can drive and I can see things, you know. I tell my wife how beautiful she looks. She tells me that's because you can't see what I look like. You know, I said, well, how do we know that ain't a blessing? You know, whatever it is, this works out, right? It's working out good, you know. And so, yeah.
Okay. Well, we wish you well and blessings on dealing with the eyesight. I know about glaucoma. I know about that.
Yeah.
In your career, how did having children and getting married affect your career, if any?
Well, it stops your career. I mean, if you're going to do it successfully, unless you're going to take the whole family on the road with you, it pretty much stopped me from going on the road and doing that kind of stuff. You know, I once I had kids, I thought, well, what's the whole point of making money and doing all the rest of this stuff and touring and writing the songs if you're going to have kids and then your kids grow up and they don't even know who you are? And I won't mention names, but I got a lot of successful friends, man. They go through all this stuff and the kids and the grandkids, and then they get on TV and say, yeah, but I never spent no time with them, or they don't know me, I don't know them.
That's true.
What's that song by Jim Croce? We're going to have a good time then, I'll see you one day, my dad, you know. And so, yeah, I never wanted to do that, you know.
So
as successful as I like my kids to be, I never wanted to be, unfortunately, like Michael Jackson's father, you know, where something goes like that.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be like that. I thought it was excruciatingly sad when Michael left his dad nothing. I mean, his dad did make his career. Now I got all the bad rumors about his dad cheating on his mom, maybe beating the kids or some crazy stuff, but he still made them stars.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Joe, there would be no Jackson.
Yeah, exactly.
There'd be no Jackson 5. Yeah. There'd be no Michael Jackson.
If it was me, and I'm not saying Michael was wrong because it's whatever he felt. If it was me, I would have said, well, he wanted the money, so here. You know what I mean? This is what you gave up your entire life for this money, so you're my dad, here's the money. Here's some money, you know. And so I never wanted to be that guy, though. As much as I love music, and I don't think anybody loves it any more than me, I never wanted to just do music and nothing else. I like to go skiing, water skiing, drive sports cars, go to the beach, take trips, take different trips with each one of my kids, take my wife on trips. So I like that kind of stuff.
So you like being a family man?
Yeah. Well, I've been with my wife as of last Saturday, 34 years.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
34 years.
Yeah, 34 years.
And your sons are in the game of entertainment, right?
Yeah, the two younger ones are. Yeah.
And they're playing and
they're playing.
recording. I know that.
My son just did a concert Saturday where he had a bunch of people. I forget. I played at Avalon, across on Vine. And he's got a song out right now called Dreaming or something like that. It's got 11 million streams so far.
Wow.
So he's doing pretty good. And my baby son, we're going to get his record out soon. He's got a nice sounding song. Yeah, it's called My Favorite Song. So you'll be hearing that soon. You know. So we're all having fun. And how about this? As a family, we all come together and all the kids like each other. Every time somebody meets one of my kids, they say, boy, he was so nice, kind, and respectful. Yeah. And that's all I really want. I don't really care if they make $1 trillion or not. I care more about that they're great human beings, and everybody that sees them sees a reflection of myself, I hope, the better side of me.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always known you to be a good cat, man. I mean, before I knew you, I mean, I knew of you, of course, as a musician. And then when I became a disc jockey in New York and New Jersey, of course I was playing your records, radio records.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing you at a party. It was an album release party at Arista had thrown for you in New York. And this woman named Barbara, I think she was a PR person.
Barbara Shelley.
Yeah, Barbara Shelley.
Yeah.
I remember her inviting me to the party, and I was there and meeting you. This big dude who was like, I didn't know you were that big.
Everybody says that.
Yeah.
Hey, how about this? They still say that now.
Well, you good size.
For some reason on camera, though, on a video or picture, everybody appears that I'm small.
Yeah, you're a football,
so when I show up,
football dude.
The microphone's down here. I'm like, man, I'm 6'3". Well, I used to be 6'3". I'm a little under that now.
Yeah, you 6'3".
I used to come, man, I'm 6'3". Why is the mic way down here? Yeah, put it back up here.
Because I remember watching some of your music videos, and you're like, he's like taller than everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a big dude standing in front of the mic, this little tiny mic.
Yeah.
You know, playing and whatnot, playing keyboards or playing guitar. Who were your influences?
Oh, George Benson, Jimi Hendrix. I love Ernie Isley. I just met him for the first time at Clive's party this year, but he was always one of my favorites. Wes Montgomery, you know. A lot of the jazz guys, because I wanted to be a guy that played all that stuff back then, you know. All the Funk Brothers, Robert White, Melvin Sparks was a big influence on me. So those are the guys I listened to.
Any voices, male or female voices?
No, I didn't care about no singers. You know.
Really?
No, I was a musician. The singers were in the way.
You know? Get out of the way.
We tried to do it without them. And somebody said, man, you got to get a singer.
Okay.
You get a singer, yeah. I didn't get into the vocal stuff till way later. You know, that I had appreciation for it. You know, before it was like, okay, you got to put the vocal on. Somebody wants a vocal. Let somebody sing. Okay, I don't care.
But Ray, you ended up singing.
I know.
At all that.
And I didn't care about the lyrics or anything. I didn't understand Me and Mrs. Jones till I had to be in my 20s. In my 20s, I thought, man, that's a hell of a song.
Billy Paul's Me and Mrs. Jones?
Yeah, but when I was a kid, I didn't get it. I was like, man, that's a stupid sounding song. It's got those old type dun, 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 dun. And I was like, man, that sounds like something from the 30s. Yeah. It's not even the 40s, you know. And I didn't get that at all. I didn't get it. You know, Billy Paul, me. I was like, why does anybody like this song? You know, and then when I got a little more mature and I started getting relationships, I was like, that's a bad tune. It's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Right.
And they gave it that burlesque kind of thing because that's what the lyrics said, you know. They really tapered the music to the lyrics, you know.
You know,
and it was strong.
The combination of Gamble and Huff.
Oh, yeah.
You don't fool with that.
No. That was unbelievable.
That's an American institution. Yeah. Like Burt Bacharach and Hal David.
Hal Dozier Holland. There's some of those guys.
Yeah, man. It's like, ooh, man. So how did Raydio come together?
Well, Raydio came together because I had written that song for Shaka Khan, you know, You Got the Love.
Yeah.
Which
is the iconic opening.
Opening line. And a lot of things like that. I'd done stuff with Barry White and Patti LaBelle and a whole bunch of people. So my name had started getting around. And then when I did the You Make Me Feel Like Dancing song, got no credit for it.
Right.
That was a clincher.
That was Leo Sayer?
Yeah. And it wasn't his fault. It was the producer's fault. But what was good about that, and it's funny saying, what could be good about that? You got screwed out of the whole thing. But there's always some good in everything, right? And what came out good about that, it's like I was, you know, Tom Brady that won the Super Bowl, but I didn't have a contract. Right? So imagine the song wins the Grammy and everybody knows who did it because a lot of people in the studio saw what happened. So Clive Davis and other people asked, who was that? They said, well, that little Ray Parker Jr. kid. You mean the same one that's got a studio and did this, and this? So I was the top #1 draft pick that year. Right. So my first record deal was sort of like my second or third record deal. You know, Clive Davis said, man, you can do whatever you want to do. Just sign it. Just make Jack and Jill for me. Take it from him and let's put it on my label, which is what we did, and we're happy ever after. You know. So that's how Raydio came about. I had written a song for Rufus, and I written one for Barry White, and I'm only mentioning those two in particular. I had Nancy Wilson and a bunch of other people, but I mentioned those two in particular because I went home for Christmas and told my mom what I'd done and said, Mom, I'm doing pretty good in California. I'm like 19, 20 now, and I got these 2 hit songs out, you know. And she was like, she looked at it and she went, well, I don't see you. I said, well, they're not on me. I'm not singing. I mean, Shaka Khan's singing, and Barry White is singing, you know. And I said, but I'm the writer on the song. She said, what's that? What's that mean? What's the writer in the pub? What does that mean? And I said, here. And then I took the sleeve out and I showed her my name. But my mom was almost, you know, in her 70s, you know. And my name said R. Parker, and it was so little. She said, go get me my magnifying glass, you know. I'm like, go get to your man. So to make a long story short, when I first got there, my ego wouldn't even fit in this room. I had to leave it outside. When I was left, my ego was shrinking fast, you know. My mom was like, look, she said, she didn't know anything about computers, but she looked at it and went, Ray Parker. She said, if they gave you one more character, it could have been R-A-Y on here. They couldn't even spell your whole name out. It was like Ray Parker. I mean, she was like, was so unimpressed, you know.
Wow.
And so I went back home and said, you know what? I got to make a record, at least one, and put my face on it so my mom will know what the heck it is I'm doing. Because nobody understands what it is I was doing. Yeah, and that was Raydio.
Yeah, and that was Raydio. And how many hits with Raydio?
Oh, we had 7 or 8 gold and platinum albums before Ghostbusters. You know?
Yeah, before Ghostbusters, yeah. So, and then who made the call on Ghostbusters to say, you know, Ray Parker?
Well, that was Gary LaMelle.
Gary LaMelle did that?
Yeah, Gary LaMelle.
Okay.
And he was a publisher for Barry White back in the day when I used to work with Barry White. So we remember each other then. And I was dating a girl in his office. That didn't hurt. You know?
Okay. All right.
It's always some crazy stuff going on. And they had tried for a whole year. And I think they asked Kenny Loggins, Lindsey Buckingham, a whole bunch of famous people to write this song. And nobody came up with a song that they liked. I mean, because, I mean, to be honest, you know, if you got to sing Ghostbusters, that word is impossible to sing. You know, I want to be a Ghostbuster. It's no way this is going to turn out right, right? And for me, you know, Gary LaMelle looked at me, he says, I like the way you twist the words on your song and make those double entendres. He says, you're the guy to do this. And he was sure. He said, I'm 100% sure that you can do this. You will do this. And I thought he was out of his mind. I was like, man, I don't know nothing about no ghosts. I don't know what the heck you're talking about. And what's the name of the song? He says, Ghostbusters. I said, holy crap, no wonder they're paying so much money. This is a stupid word. You can't say this word, you know. So I met with, and he told me, he says, we're going to go into a meeting. There'll be 20 writers in there, but you're the only one getting paid. Because I already told the director, you're going to do it.
Right.
Okay. And the director, you know, I'll never forget Ivan Reitman. Yeah. We became good friends.
Yeah, God rest his soul.
He looked at me, he says, he had never heard of me before, by the way. And, you know, so he looks at me, he says, well, the music ain't that important. I just need 20 seconds over the library scene, you know. So I'm already insulted. He just told me that music ain't that important.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So he told me a little bit about what he wanted, and I left the meeting early, you know. And even in my documentary, he says, yeah, he was a little bit cocky. I mean, he left the meeting early. I mean, what the, you know. He said, but he nailed it, you know. So, you know, I cut the song, and sure enough, Gary LaMelle was right. I did nail it. I thought it was ridiculous. Are you kidding me? I don't know nothing about this. But I listened to the instructions the director, Ivan, was telling me what he wanted, kind of music he wanted. He wanted the lyric in there and the whole thing. And I think the best thing I ever did in my life is I saw the Ghostbusters as military characters. So I didn't write the song trying to make a love song or trying to make a dance song with the words Ghostbusters in it. I saw them, I headed towards Gomer Pyle.
Oh, yes.
That's where I was headed.
Gomer.
I thought everything was Gomer Pyle. Yeah. I pictured me being Frank Sutton, drill sergeant,
that's
telling people, who you going to call if you need some help? Ghostbusters. You know, that's why you got in there, I can't hear you. Right. Yeah, I did that, and louder. Right. You know, Frank used to always tell Gomer, louder, Gomer. You know? And then when I saw the Ghostbusters in the costumes, to me, they looked like military characters. So I wanted the music to be really, really stiff. Right, and just even got the drums just like field drums, marching drums. Right. You know? So everything in Ghostbusters, the stiffer you play the song, the better, because it's a marching song. It's a drum cadence marching song. Yeah, and
influenced by Gomer Pyle.
Yeah, exactly. Gomer Pyle, we had to go all the right. Yeah. And so when Ivan Reitman heard that, he was like, boy, this kid really nailed it. Whatever he's doing, he went over there. Excuse me. Yeah, he went over there and just did something totally different, and he nailed it, you know.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history. Yeah.
So we're 3 Ghostbusters in, and
we're 5 in.
5 in.
It is the 5th one.
And you're in this one.
This one, it took 40 years for me to get in.
Yeah, 40
if they
years.
waited any longer, I'd be the ghost.
40 years and you're in.
Yeah, 40 years, and they're actually playing part of the video from 1984 in the film, and you get to see my big face on the screen, full length body wise. I mean, it's pretty. That's pretty fun.
What do the kids say about this, man? The grandkids, and I mean, you don't. You have
I ain't got no grandkids
I
yet.
mean,
But my sons.
But your sons.
What was nice about that is that each one of them at different ages, I was their hero.
Oh,
right. We go to school, and my kids went to Viewpoint, the 2 younger ones, and everybody goes to Viewpoint. I mean, Lionel Richie's kids go there, John Bon Jovi's kids.
My kids didn't go to Viewpoint. They went to Chaminade.
Chaminade, okay, same thing, just different neighborhood.
Shout out to Chaminade.
But the point being, Stevie Wonder's kids went there.
Yeah, yeah.
And the teachers never asked them to participate, but they always went to skip Hobbs Zimmer, skip Lionel Richie, skip all them. Let's get Gibson's dad to come sing Ghostbusters Halloween with the kids. Mm-hmm. So that was always the thing. So I fit right in with the kids. Right. And the kids, they didn't want to hear none of the rest of them guys. They're old guys. Yeah. But Mr. Parker's son, Jericho's dad is cool. Yeah. He wrote Ghostbusters. He's a Ghostbuster. He's timeless.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
So it's an interesting thing.
So at this point in your life, does it ever get tired of hearing it and being referred to as?
Not even close.
Really?
Not even. Yeah, because it's like all the numbers of the lotto. I mean, would you give any of the numbers back? No. Right? I mean, so Ghostbusters, by the way, it's my favorite song.
It's your favorite song?
It's my favorite song. I mean, I got some others that made very sentimental. Jack and Jill helped me become an artist, but Ghostbusters is by far my favorite song because it makes everybody happy.
Yeah, it does.
It makes the old folks happy, the mean folks happy, the folks that don't even speak our language happy. It makes all the kids happy, no matter what language it is.
It's funny you say that because me and Nathan were talking about songs that make people happy.
Yeah.
Ghostbuster is definitely one of those songs.
Oh, yeah. It makes everybody
happy.
Happy.
Like Pharrell's Happy.
Yeah.
Or Get Lucky. Which,
exactly.
Yeah,
as soon as somebody, I mean, no matter what country, I mean, as soon as somebody says, well, you don't know Ray Parker Jr., he's the guy that wrote Ghostbusters. They're like, oh my gosh, can I cook him a cake? I mean, can we give him some extra special food? Yeah. I mean, everybody wants to do something special for you.
Yeah.
Because it did something special for them.
Very few people come to the planet and able to leave that kind of footprint, Ray.
Yeah, I know.
Very few people come and leave a footprint like that.
Yeah.
A positive footprint on top of that. In order for that to happen, the vibration was here. It wasn't here. It had to be here because when you are chosen by the universe to write something or be a part of something like that, that connects with all human beings on the planet, where everybody feels something.
When that spirit passes through you at the right moment, just passes through you.
Exactly. So I was asking Nathan in part 1 about what mood or where do you have to be mentally, physically, spiritually to write for you?
Yeah, well, you got to be in the music all the time. I think that for some reason, the spirit, I'm not sure it just passes through me. I think it may pass through everybody. But at that moment, if I'm geared up and I'm ready, that means well practiced, got my gear, got my sound, and then it passes through me while I'm in that mode, then you can experience the blessing. It might, the same Ghostbusters might have passed through you. Then maybe you didn't have your guitar set up and your keyboard and your drums.
That's right.
So it just went past you and you were having a drink and it just went in one side and went out the other side.
And it came to Ray Parker Jr.
Yeah, so exactly. So you got to be prepared for the moment, And I noticed the more I'm prepared or wherever I'm in that zone, that's when the magic happens or some magic happens. But you got to be prepared for it. And I mean, it's a crazy thing. It's like, I grew up, Stevie Wonder was always my hero. Now I look back and think, well, Stevie Wonder's got 150 songs, but I don't think he's got a Ghostbusters song. He doesn't have one that's like that big. I mean, just a single song is that crazy huge. He's got 1 million of them, So it's a crazy thing. You know, I look at it and go, what was that all about? You know.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, it came together really quick for me.
That's what happens.
All the lyrics,
Usually
everything.
that's what happens.
Bustin' makes me feel. I mean, some of the stuff I said just going past, Bustin' makes me feel good. That's like everybody saying, "Oh, that's one of the greatest lines of all time in a song." You know, how do you think of that? I was like, well, I was just writing the rest of the stuff. You know? So it's it's a gift.
So when you think about,
because by the way, I ain't that smart.
Well, obviously you are. Obviously you are. When you think about songwriters again, we talk about the songwriters again. Marvin as a songwriter.
Oh yeah.
Curtis Mayfield as a songwriter.
Yeah.
Burt Bacharach and Hal David as songwriters.
Yeah, you just named a bunch of my favorites, all of them, right?
You know, even Ashford and Simpson as songwriters.
Yeah, wonderful.
Nick and Valerie as songwriters. Do you think that you get inspired by those kinds of people to write?
Those are the people I was inspired by.
Those the people I named.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially Marvin Gaye, because I was in the studio with him, so I got to see him songwriting and writing. My number one inspiration of all time, and I say it easily, is Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, mine too.
I mean, he taught me how to write songs. I didn't know what write the song was. You know, I mean, when somebody said, "Well, so and so wrote the song," I was like, "What's that mean?" You know, I didn't even know what it meant.
Right.
So Stevie taught me all of that and taught me how to do it, and he must have taught me pretty good because I started writing hit songs a year later.
Steve is incredible.
Yeah,
he's incredible. Yeah. I mean, definitely a genius.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's without a doubt. He's Mozart of the 20th century.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
Without a doubt.
Without doubt.
And because I wasn't that smart of a kid growing up. I mean, I had some talent playing the guitar, and there were certain things I could do. But I can tell you right now, man, I worked with Stevie Wonder, and that changed everything right then and there. I became a songwriter.
Producer.
Yeah. Well, he gave me the confidence for all that stuff, by the way. Because once I worked with Stevie, I said, well, you know, Stevie Wonder took me in the studio and cut some of my songs, and we're singing duets together, and he's arranging the horns and the backgrounds on my music. So once that happens, they're like, well, I ain't going to listen to none of you guys telling me I ain't got it. Why am I talking to y'all? Yep. I went to the mountain, spoke to the Lord myself.
Exactly.
I got the message straight from the guy. I mean, you know, so with that kind of confidence, and when he did that, to me, it made me think, okay, well, if you don't have a hit, it's just because you haven't done it yet. You need to get to work. If you ain't done it, work harder. But once Stevie Wonder spent time with me, I was like, well, I ain't listening to nobody else. I'm turning all those volume knobs off. All that you can't do stuff, I'm off of that. I know I can do it. It's just a matter of I got to do it. Now, by the way, I never thought I was going to be as famous as Stevie Wonder, which I never could. My dream was always just be 2% of Stevie Wonder, and I'll be good.
Yeah.
Let me be 2-3% of Stevie Wonder, and I'm good. I'll be happy than happy.
When I had a little bit of a time to write some music, I would say to myself, well, I was playing drums as a kid. Well, I was like, well, if I can't be Max Roach, or if I can't be, Louis Bellson, or I can't be, Buddy Rich, then I stopped.
What do I do?
What I do. So when it came to writing songs, it's like, if I can't be Stevie, or if I can't be Burt Bacharach or Ellington, what's the sense of doing this? That's obviously you're still standing at my standard also. But I said to myself one day, at least try it. Yeah. You've been influenced by some great people.
Exactly.
Just try it.
Yeah.
You
see what comes out.
See what comes out.
Exactly.
Obviously, you've got this something in you that the universe gave you. Just try it.
Right.
And years later, I tried it, and it worked. It was me and Prince.
Yeah.
And to come out the box first time like that as a songwriter, you write with Prince. I think it said something.
Yeah.
Not egotistically, but as your time with Stevie, and my time with Prince, it's like, okay, I've been recognized by one of the best people on the planet.
Yeah, exactly.
And it did something for me.
Yeah.
And to me.
It lets you know you ain't worthless.
Exactly.
If I was worth it,
Exactly,
then we'd be
Ray.
sitting here spending this time.
Exactly,
with
Ray.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the documentary on your life, I was around that time when you were doing that time, because I was working on the Rufus and Shaka Khan documentary. Did you ever think that it would come to this? You would have a documentary on your life?
Not even close. No.
And how did it happen?
The guy had done a documentary, a different one, and I participated in that. And the more we hung out at lunch or whatever, he heard my story and said, the next movie I'm doing is yours. He says, people got to know this story.
Yeah.
You know? And probably the only crime is only 90 minutes long, so we leave off a lot of story. I mean, there's nothing in there maybe about flying airplanes. There's nothing in there about a lot of, not even American Studios, which, you know, a lot of people have cut many of their hit records.
Yeah, American Studios, that's right.
Yeah. So we just went, 90 minutes is all you have. So you got to condense it down. I think they did a wonderful job, you know.
They did a great job.
But it's condensed down.
Yeah. It's a impactful piece that people have seen on flights from LA to
exactly.
Exactly. I watch it, you know, a couple of times and whatnot. But it's a good strong piece on you, man. Strong piece on you. So what's next for you? What do you want to do?
I just want to have some fun. Are you kidding me? I like this retirement.
It's like you've been having fun.
Well, I'm having more fun then. I just want to keep having fun, you know. I like to hang with my guys in the backyard. I like my house in the mountains. I'm trying to finish that up. We got that remodeling, you know. I like them playing more music. I'm a little slower now. You know, I should have been done with this record 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and I only got to sing 3 or 4 more songs.
This is your record.
Yeah, it's my record. What's taking so long? Why
it has been a minute because we
3, 4 songs. What's taking so long?
Yeah,
I know what to do. I got it all laid out. I just need to go in there and mix it, you know, find all the copies and get it done. So I'm working on doing that. But at the same time I'm doing that, everybody calls me to do this. I played this 80s cruise. Now it's like go to Rome. I just did the Jimmy Fallon show to do that. Now I got to do the Clive Davis thing in New York at Carnegie Hall. I mean, it's just...
Is it tribute to Clive?
Yeah. So I'm playing with the Pops Orchestra, like 78-piece orchestra. But it's always something that comes up. Like you say, well, those are special things. Yeah, but you know what? My whole month is always full of special things like that.
That's amazing.
There's always something going on. You know, I don't have anybody to manage or any of that stuff. My phone just rings. It's Ray, we got to do this. And he said, oh, that's pretty important. I got to do that. And then the phone rings again. Tonight Show. You can turn out Tonight Show? Okay. So I'm going to New York now? Yeah. Get on a plane tomorrow night. You go to New York and work with Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray and those guys. You got to do that, you know. Yeah. So, I mean, it just keeps going like that.
Blessed.
Very blessed.
And highly favored.
These are wonderful problems to have, you know. Which one are you going to do next? I mean, it's a wonderful thing. So you don't hear no complaining from me at all. It's wonderful.
So do you think that between 2024 2025, we can expect that album from you?
Oh, yeah. You're going to get that album this year.
This year?
Oh, yeah. This year.
Okay. On your own label?
I don't know how I'm going to put it out, but I'm going to finish it first. Then I would like to put it out on a label other than myself. I did that before. I just don't have the energy. That's too much work.
It is a lot of work.
Yeah, I don't want to do the work. I just want to see. I've come to the conclusion in my life, I'm not trying to own no record company and all that stuff. I don't want to do all that. I just want to play the music. You know, anything that enhances my career as an artist and me going out performing and doing it myself and that sort of thing. I'm really more interested in that. I don't mind sharing the revenue and the master with somebody if need be, if that's what it takes to get that out. But I would really like some help in getting it out in a major way. You know?
Are there instrumentals on this record?
Not yet.
Come on.
There will be. Well, I ain't never put one out that won't be. So I have to do that too.
Yeah, please,
so that's another thing I got to do on it.
Your instrumentals are like beautiful.
Yeah.
Really kind of on the groove.
You got to get that happening too.
Yeah, man. We need that. Man, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me. Man. And by the way, I like to say my favorite singers of all time.
I know one of them.
Yeah, you know one. Marvin Gaye.
Right.
Is my male favorite singer. Shaka Khan is my female singer. I mean, those two have just taken the planet, and the way they shape their voices on records, to me, are unbelievable. I'm not saying there's not other great singers, but there's not other great singers with that level of creativity that they all have. By the way, Shaka Khan shares my two favorite girls, my wife and Shaka Khan. They both share the same birthday.
Just had a
March
birthday.
23rd. So happy birthday, CK.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, man, when I watched the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and they put her in it this year,
Yeah.
and she brought Tony Maiden up,
I was
in tears.
Yeah.
I
was
spoke
beautiful.
to Tony for a long time the other day. I said, man, let me tell you, man. I mean, she was already had high stock in my book, but she went up to another zone, a whole nother level. That was so kind.
She
of
did the
her.
right thing.
Yeah. And he's having trouble at the time health-wise.
Yeah.
I thought it was such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I know she brought him there. I know she she took him up on stage and delivered it like that. Man, I was at home crying at the TV set.
Yeah.
It brought tears. It was like, there is faith in the world.
Yeah.
The world is a good place.
Yeah, she did a good thing with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tony is a beautiful person.
Yeah.
He's a super, super talented cat.
Yeah.
That has Tony has his own lane.
Yeah.
When it comes to
Yeah.
You know, I've always said that my favorite rhythm guitar players would be Tony, you, Al McKay, Wawa Watson.
Yeah.
Those
and we've all played together before. Yeah.
Yeah. Those you guys got it for me. But you guys also, Ray, and I've never told you this before, as long as we've known each other, but you have been such a blessing to me. Not only just being friends, but musically, man, what you had done for me in all these years, not even being able to tell you that until now. It made me feel good, in my life.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So
that's what the music is meant to do.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You done did it.
Yeah, done did it, right?
You done did it. You done did it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. And once again, subscribe and share this channel. And please, let's hear from you. Ray, thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Yeah.
Everybody, peace.